Bigger Than Life, America's Tall Tales by Katherine Follett. Illustrations by Steve McInturf. Introduction. On a cold winter evening in 1855, a family gathers around the fireplace. The wind whistles around their small sod house on the lonely Missouri plains. The mother and grandmother knit and mend clothes, while the father whittles a new handle for the axe he broke last fall. Tonight is a special night. Uncle James is visiting from the gold mines of South Dakota. He looks down at the three children gathered at his feet, and he begins to tell fantastic tales of huge bears, mighty miners, and fierce battles between settlers and Native Americans. Even the adults lean in to listen. Some of the stories are scary. Some of them are funny. And all of them are truly amazing. Almost too amazing to be believed. Once in a while, Uncle James winks and smiles, letting the astonished children know that he's just kidding. Today, we call these amazing stories tall tales. The name tall tale is an old-fashioned term for an exaggeration or a silly lie told to trick and amuse an audience. But it might as well describe the enormous height and strength of the heroes of these stories. Many tall tales were spread just like this, by storytellers, families, and friends gathered around a campfire, huddling close against the fearsome weather and the lonely wilderness of the American landscape. Others were passed along in small books, short pamphlets, and newspapers that Americans read during their spare time. After a person heard or read an amazing or hilarious story, he or she passed it along to someone else. In this way, through telling or writing, tall tales have been passed down from the 1800s all the way to today. Many tall tales have certain features that set them apart from other kinds of stories. Almost all tall tales are about a hero who is, literally and figuratively, larger than life. It's been said that Paul Bunyan was so big that he carved out the Grand Canyon by dragging his axe along the ground. Some people swear that Annie Christmas, the keelboat driver, was a full 7 feet tall. Unlike the princesses, kings, and wizards of fairy tales, the heroes of tall tales are cowboys, railroad workers, and loggers. They usually perform a tough, dangerous job that requires enormous strength and fearlessness. Many tall tales involve humor, such as when the hero gets the best of a rival or an enemy. And most tall tales are told in the colorful, ordinary language of working people. Most tall tales originated in the 1800s. The United States was rapidly expanding from the original 13 colonies to a nation that spread from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. Life in the 1800s was very different from what it is today. Almost everything from doing laundry to visiting relatives to writing books had to be done by human or animal power. Most people spent their entire day, 7 days a week, working just to keep themselves fed, warm, and sheltered. This was especially true on the frontier, or the very edge of American settlements. The people who came to the frontier had to build their lives entirely from scratch. They had to clear out the wilderness, build a home, grow their own food, make their own clothes, and protect themselves from wild animals and other dangers. On the 19th century frontier, survival depended on the cooperation of family and friends. Families had many children to help out with all the chores. Laborers almost always worked in teams, relying on the strength of many people to do tasks that would be impossible for one. Explorers knew that there was safety in numbers, and they banded together as they faced unknown lands filled with unfamiliar people and cultures. Once the day's work was done, these groups of people came together and sang songs, played games, and most importantly, told stories and jokes. Strength, skill, and bravery were the most valuable features a person could have, so the heroes of these stories were always strong, skilled, and brave. Each teller added his or her own twist, making the hero a little bit stronger, the villain a little more frightening, and the ending a little more amusing. Often, a storyteller would try to impress or outdo
Sample complete. Ready to continue?